A declaration was made today that President Ilir Meta was not previously informed of the way Albania would vote on the UN resolution for Israel. The Foreign Affairs Minister clarified that yesterday's vote in favour of the UN resolution was a vote in alliance with the EU, not a motion against the US. As the new year draws closer, we take a look at what it costs the average Albanian family to hold the traditional festivities such as the Feast of Turkey and Baklava. Good evening. It's 6 o'clock on Friday, the 22nd of December 2017. Welcome and thank you for joining us tonight for the English edition of Aura News, bringing you the day's national top stories translated into English 6 days a week. A statement was made today declaring that the President of the Republic, Ilir Meta, was not previously informed of the vote Albania would give to the UN regarding the resolution that annulled Trump's decision to recognise Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. When asked by Aura News, the spokesman for the head of state, Teddy Blushi, said that the President of the Republic had not been consulted, despite this being such an important matter. The President of the Republic was not consulted nor informed in advance regarding the position to be taken on this important issue. This is a decision not only for Albania's foreign policy, but for the entire Albanian nation, said Teddy Blushi. The President, according to the spokesman, evaluates this position of voting against the US as totally unnecessary, not in reflection of the stance of the state, and even more, a nationwide non-consensus. We should not forget that the US remains the most important strategic ally and partner, and as such, attitudes and decisions for relative policies should be well coordinated. The Albanian people and nation will never forget to be grateful for the historic decisions by the US regarding the vital existence of our nations and the Euro-Atlantic future of Albania and Kosovo, said Teddy Blushi. The UN overturned the decision of the American President, Donald Trump, to declare Jerusalem as the capital of Israel yesterday with 128 votes. Albania was one of the nations that voted against the US in the vote held by the UN. The President of America had earlier warned that the US would cut all funding to all the countries that voted for the UN resolution, declaring that the position of these countries would be duly noted. The Foreign Ministry clarified Albania's vote, saying the position was aligned with that of the European Union. 3 countries from the region chose to abstain from the voting process at the UN. Foreign Minister Ditmir Bushati has spoken of Albania's vote in favour of the United Nations resolution, saying it is an expression of our coherent, principled and unchanged stance regarding Jerusalem over the years. Bushati stressed that anyone who tries to claim that this was an intentional vote against the United States is either lying or simply inventing stories. By writing on Facebook, Minister Bushati said that Albania maintained a stance in line with the overwhelming majority of the UN, NATO and EU member states, and has consistently voted pro on UN resolutions in relation to the Middle East peace process, as in 2012 and 2013. Claims that Albania's vote was a vote against the US, according to Bushati, serve only to undermine the cornerstone of the partnership with the US in the fields of strengthening the rule of law and democracy in Albania. In closing, the Foreign Minister says that the fact is that the principal stance in our country's foreign policy is the same as it has been for many years, and that this fact must be distinguished from any other invented claims made by the country's worst citizens. As we etch closer and closer to the end of this year, the 2 main icons on every Albanian table will be the baklava and turkey. The citizens say that no matter how much these 2 elements cost, they just cannot be absent from the table during the New Year festivities. The traditional method of preparing baklava at home has not been forgotten either, with many housewives preferring to cook it themselves than buy it. So, just how much does the average Albanian spend on the night of New Year's Eve alone? Well, it all depends on their individual economic situation, though with a simple calculation, household spending ranges from 10 to 50,000 lek. Albanians continue to celebrate mostly with families, enjoying a large feast for dinner, although after 12 o'clock many young people choose to continue the party in the clubs, choosing to be accompanied mainly by friends at this point. However, in recent years, it has been noticed that more and more families are preferring to also spend the first hours of the new year in restaurants, bars, clubs, and so on. Democratic members of the Municipal Council considered the approval of Tirana's municipal budget to be invalid. One day after refusing to attend the discussions and following the proposal being approved with the inclusion of 4 SMI votes, Democratic members held to a press conference where their chair, Kreshnik Trolaku, said that the meeting was simply theatre and claimed its invalidity. "The meeting was a theatre show," said Kreshnik Trolaku. Member of the Democratic Party in the council, Mateo Sparho, said that the budget is not accompanied by a fiscal package and, according to him, will burden the finances of citizens as it significantly increases taxes. "The municipality is taking 130 billion lek from the citizens," said Mateo Sparho. Democratic councillors said that in the fiscal document, the Tirana municipality clearly shows that it is not the citizens in focus, but the tenders and personal benefits of the Mayor, Erion Veliai himself, and the other leaders at the City Hall. The 2018 budget for the municipality of Tirana was approved yesterday with 32 votes in favour. Despite 4 of these positive votes coming from members of the SMI, Tirana's Mayor, Erion Veliai, has today accused the opposition of hindering the process. Veliai said that the Democratic councillors do not want Tirana to move forward, but that there was no stopping the progression now as it has already started occurring. "I would like to thank the 32 councillors for their exemplary votes and the absolute majority we have in the municipality. To the others, I wish to tell them to deal with some other job. They cannot block this municipality anymore, and they cannot block the work of this city anymore. If they do really love this city, I challenge them to prove it by taking part in the cleaning actions being conducted tomorrow. Wouldn't it be nice to put aside our political differences for a day in order to benefit the city?" said Erion Veliai. Veliai made this statement during a meeting with 24 administrators of the capital, where the clean-up campaign for Tirana to be held on Saturday was discussed. The Mayor invited the whole community to join the initiative for a cleaner city. In addition to the clean-up campaign, Mayor Veliai will also be present at the Brego Ilumit area to assist with the planting of more trees. The people were promised a festival that would convey good music, showmanship, magic and value, and that's exactly what they got. The 56th edition of Albanian Radio Television Song Festival started its journey with the great Ricardo Cociante, who climbed to the magnificent stage at the concert hall and interpreted the hit Margarita. The refrain was sung unanimously by the audience in the hall, who once again testified their love of Italian music. Another not-to-be-missed moment was the duet between Cociante and the Albanian singer El Haider Dani. Cociante accompanied the Albanian singer as her coach throughout her entire journey on The Voice of Italy. On the first night, 11 singers performed, with appearances from both great names of Albanian music as well as some hot new young talent. The show was full of emotions and incredible moments throughout the whole night. The second night continues this evening, promising new songs and surprises, with Adi Krasta presenting alongside some of the festival's previous presenters from over the years. That's all for our English edition this evening. My name is Alexandra. Please join me again Monday through Saturday at 6 p.m. for your local news in English. On behalf of Aura News, thank you and good night.